going on YouTube? It's TheRealDoorman back again once again. Today I'm here to do the power rankings with the supreme leader of the GPL, Drift Blaine.
What's going on, everybody? Never do that intro again. Uh, yeah, basically excited to do our first set of power rankings and our sort of rough draft summary as well. And spoilers, I won, so yeah, I'm pretty happy right now.
How could we forget though the Bibbidi himself, Bibbidi Bopst.
Hi.
Wow,
Charismatic as ever.
I give a powerful biak again, and you do that. Anyway, so we're here to talk about the power rankings for the GPL Week 1, Season 2. So first, let's talk about number 15. I have Wildcat Shinx. Jack has Atlanta Braviaries, and Aaron also has Wildcat Shinx. So I guess I'll go ahead and talk
Let's
about
talk
it.
about.
Oh,
Well,
go
first
ahead.
let's talk about the Shinx draft. So
Yeah.
essentially, their draft is as follows: Toxapex, Mandibuzz,
Ew,
Dugtrio,
ew, ew.
Heliolisk,
Uh,
Registeel, Pyroar, Mega Blastoise, Clefable, Weavile, Gorgeist, and Malmar.
Ugh.
Essentially, it's really bulky. Um, and this is the guy I beat in week one. He's not actually at the bottom of my power rankings because I think personally that he just essentially had a terrible matchup against his team. He is a really bulky, kind of slow team. I have a lot of really good wall breakers. So essentially, I think he had a real problem matchup there. I actually think his team is a lot more to it than people are currently giving credit for, but we'll see, man. I've got them a bit higher up the rankings, but these two boys have put them in the bottom of theirs, and I'll let them explain why.
I put B at the bottom mostly because I just really don't like his draft. He knew everyone was going to draft like huge power mons because not only do we have the Cocos, or not the Cocos, the Tapus, but we also have Kieran Black that people are going to be grabbing up, Volcanion, Latios, more powerful mons that people aren't going to be giving much attention to just due to the new mons. So I think he drafted pretty poorly considering all that. Anyone give you reasons?
he
Also,
got
I
fucking wrecked, man.
I also think he got wrecked, but that's mostly because of matchup that he got 4-0'd. The matchup was really, really not in his favor.
He got tossed on his fucking neck.
Thanks for the great commentary,
Nice
Aaron.
PG input there.
Yeah,
Also,
PG. The doorman is never PG.
to explain fully why the Atlanta Braviaries are at the bottom of my rankings, despite winning their match, is essentially I'm playing them next week. So
Okay.
That's it.
Number
That's it.
14, I have Twin Leaf. Jack's got the Fortress Feeders. I believe is their name, right?
mhm.
Yep.
And Aaron's got the Twin Leaf Typhlosions. So I guess I'll start off and say let's talk about his draft first because I don't want to just begin talking about his match. He's got Jirachi, ew. Salamence, Amoonguss, ew. Galvantula, Jellicent, Charizard, unfortunately. Mega Dian. No, that is not Mega, by the way. That's just regular Charizard. Mega Diancie, Infernape, Mamoswine, Hitmontop, and
Rufflet!
Rufflet. Which he said he would get one kill against me. Good luck with that, Ryan. Uh,
Rufflet! Not Braviary Rufflet. Rufflet.
Essentially, Ryan lost the battle of the Ryans this week. Both of the guys in the league called Ryan were facing each other week one. Just I guess you know coincidence in the schedule. And basically, despite the fact that I think most of the body of his draft is good, despite I think his tier fives are a bit weird. The body of his draft is good, and I think he'll still do well this season. But he didn't play very well. I think he'd be the first to say that. Um, and yeah, the match just it really didn't go well for him at all. Again, I have him. I actually have him. Where do I have him? I have him a couple spots higher.
yeah, from number
Um,
12.
yeah, just because I don't think I think it was a poor performance, but I think he'll definitely improve. And I think there are other drafts with bigger weaknesses than Ryan's. I think Ryan's draft is fundamentally quite good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see it as being that bad an issue. I think it's just a shaky start.
My reason for having him at 14 is Ryan kind of played himself. Well, no, I mean, of course, Ryan, but uh, what I mean by that is he just his opponent was just playing safe, and he kept trying to over predict. So there was a lot of awkward moves, weird spots of letting the at one point letting the Mega Gyarados get a DD off because he went for Earth Power predicting the Heatran. I don't know. I think he should have played it just much more safe. He didn't have any reasons to play so aggressively because I think his team matched up quite well if he played it right.
Like he played aggressive
Hmm.
where safe plays were good, and he played overly safe in points where he could have afforded to be aggressive.
He
It
also
was just one of those
pivoted.
matches where he just didn't get the decisions right.
He also pivoted and switched with rocks on his side of the field and not his opponent's side. So he just kept getting chip damage while his opponent was just getting to switch around for free.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you have any
Uh,
comment?
I know Christmas is coming up, but and this guy is new to the league, but Ryan gave this guy the Christmas present of momentum for the entire fucking match.
Oh my god.
Like there was not a single time when I thought Twin Meat Typhlosions were ahead. He U-turned when he should have attacked. Well, attacked. No, no, no. He Earth Powered a Gyarados, allowing it to get a +1. He overpredicted just about every turn, and none of his predictions were good ever.
well,
And I think that Ryan's going to do better for the rest of the season because I've seen him do a lot better than that. And he's normally a much better battler, but this game he just performed horribly in my
He did
opinion.
say he had a lot of like work and schoolwork. So I think he just his head wasn't in the game. It seems he was too focused on looking flashy this week, improving something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
Jacob, you
so where
have go ahead.
where is the Fortress Feeders for you guys? Because this was so you guys so far have agreed
13
with
for
each other.
me.
You've
12
got
for
the
me.
next one, 12. So like just to we can address them because essentially I think the real difficulty here. This was a team who drafted after the draft was officially over,
Hmm.
and you can see it in the draft. There's a lot of things. It's a really weird looking draft, and it's a bit weak, honestly, in some senses. He's got Excadrill, which is also usually a good pick. Primarina, we'll see how that does. Wobbuffet, Venusaur, Spiritomb, Magmar, Mega Tyranitar, Necrozma, Volcarona, Togekick, and Barbarical. And essentially, there's some real problems in here. First of all, Necrozma, which he seems to want to use as a kind of defensive, bulky psychic type. It's only healing, um, is basically less effective in Sandstorm. So he's got a Sand team where he's got mons like Venusaur, um, and Necrozma, which don't want to be in the sand. Even Volcarona doesn't really appreciate it. It's just the team, it fits up really weirdly, and I don't think he's going to like it. I don't think this is going to be a team that he'll do well with. And in his first match, it didn't go well for him at all, to be honest. So
Yeah, I 100% agree. Aaron, do you have any comments about Fortress Feeders?
A few crit. He got crit a few times. He also missed a Stone Edge during his game. I don't think he was in a horrible position the entirety of the game, but I don't I don't think he played as well as he could have because I know he's a better battler than that. But I can't put him any higher than 12, honestly, like without feeling like I'm putting favoritism towards him since he's my friend.
Hmm. I guess next we will talk about the Dallas Delmies. Delmies.
Something like that.
Delmize, I
He's
guess.
number 12 for me. What is he for you guys?
13.
13 for you too.
13.
Okay. Uh,
So
you want to go, Jack?
yeah, this was an interesting one. Essentially, so this is a team that's got. I know a lot about this draft essentially because this guy is fairly new to
Hmm.
draft format, and so I actually helped him quite a lot with his original draft plan. Um, and we got basically the first two mons essentially that he really wanted, and almost nothing else. The first two ones he wanted were the Mega Altaria and Keldeo, because offensively they can work pretty well together. And then the only other thing I think was on the original plan that I can recall, Tyranitar was there and Rotom Heat was there, and that's pretty much it. The full draft goes Keldeo, Scolipede, Rotom Heat, Uxie, Magneton, Cragganol, Mega Altaria, Tyranitar, Gligar, Shaman, and Drifbloom. And yeah, it's essentially a draft of piecing together what was essentially a lot of third and fourth and fifth round snipes. And it kind of shows that it's got some good things about it, but it again is another draft that fits together really weirdly. And I think in week one is relative lack of experience probably showed up a bit because he managed to play himself into a winning position and then choked really really hard at the end of the
Twice.
game. Yeah, where essentially if he just played, like,
Safe.
he's in that kind of a head place where if you just play safely, you just play out the game. There's nothing your opponent can really do to stop it. Um, but he was over predicting like mad, and it cost him the game, and it was quite sad to see, honestly.
I think this is a very similar situation to Twin Leaf in that he just really didn't have to play. When you're ahead, just keep playing safe. There's no reason for you to overpredict. Like,
Honestly.
there's just no point. Unless it's like you get into a situation where your opponent made a really good play and that maybe you have to take a risk here or there. But for the most part, you just want to play safe, especially when you have a big lead.
Yeah, big lead.
Honestly.
Usually, the only way you're going to lose is if you make predictions you don't need to make, like moves that you just play the percentages, make the high percentage play, even if your opponent makes an obvious switch, and you only get a little bit of chip damage off. If you're genuinely ahead, you're still in a winning position.
Yeah, these
You
games
don't.
are all on Showdown, so we have the opportunity to watch them live. And I remember I was on a call with good old Driftbling, and we were watching it, and he was in a position where I didn't see a way for him to lose.
Yeah,
And then he overpredicted like crazy. He fire blasted a Nihilego with his Tyranitar when he just didn't need to. He just didn't need to. He won. But
predicting Mega Scizor, but yeah, he didn't need to at all.
at all.
And
An
basically, the
awesome
Neo
game.
Lego ended up sweeping him, which shouldn't have happened at all.
At all.
Well,
Yeah, it was a weird end of the match.
I think we move on now. I think we actually relatively agreed on this one, other than Jack put him at number 10. Number 11, we have Soviet Slowcanes. He played against the Hong Kong Bronzons this week. And first, I do want to talk about his draft before we just go on. So he drafted Tapu Lele, Lycanroc. How the fuck do you
Yep.
pronounce that? Yeah,
Lycanroc.
Lycanrod. I think he chose midday. Nidoqueen, Mienshao, Hitmonchan, Claydol, Mega Ampharos, Tornadus T, Vaporeon, Escavalier, and Ambipom. So a lot of fast pivots, or the two fast pivots in Tornadus and Ambipom. Tapu Lele, of course, being very good to synergize with anyone who's weak to priority. The Claydol I can't agree with just because it reminds me of the man himself, Osama.
You
Never
realize
again.
that makes it sound like a different Osama, right?
Yeah, it does sound a little different.
Nobody will ever understand what you just said. Now
Yeah.
everybody thinks it's
Yeah,
yours.
try and curb the in jokes as much as possible,
Yeah.
or at least explain them. Yeah,
It's hard to explain this story of Osama. Just know that he drafted Claydol, Obama Snow Articuno. Same draft. Ugh.
Yeah.
Um,
draft
moving
four
on.
psychic type.
Moving on.
Uh, Tornadus T is, of course, a very good pivot. One may disagree, though. Someone from last league who kept missing with everything on it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like missing hurricanes isn't really
Yeah.
a thing to say. He was just unlucky that season.
Uh,
Again, not particularly relevant, but yeah.
I think he could have drafted a better Mega around Tapu Lele, honestly.
I mean, I said I wanted Tapu Lele was what I wanted. I had picked, what was it, five I had? So it was never going to realistically come to me. But I think it went, I think this was the first pick. It went Tapu Lele. But I would have taken Megalopony with it. Because to me, Megalopony or a Weavile, one of the two, were two mons I saw really working well with it.
He
And trying
just
to
didn't
somewhat
drop
break
him on
things that the other one doesn't break, that kind of idea. Certainly with the Weavile anyway. But he hasn't. To me, I find the draft like I can sort of see what's happening, but at the same time, I don't know. It's not what I would have taken around Tapu Lele at all. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
it's
So,
not what I would have.
about the match, It was actually a very close match for a while, but then
for like
Sneasel,
5 turns.
yeah, for 5 turns, then Sneasel came in and it set up an SD.
Two SDs, I believe.
Two, yeah, it somehow
Two
got two up.
SDs, yeah. How did they get two SDs though?
I'm
Because
not
lol.
sure.
Still
And
weird but magnificent, really.
he then proceeded to get swept by the Weavile for 5 kills.
Horrible.
Sneasel.
Horrible.
Sneasel, five
Swept.
kills.
Yeah. We've now I'm doing it. Sneasel 5-0, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because it's as good as Sneasel is, it's not really one of the top threats in that draft, and we'll get to that.
Before he got swept by Sneasel, I actually don't think he played badly though, so that's why I have
No.
him at level 11 or at number
And to be
11.
fair, like it's not like I don't think you're not really going to predict SD Sneasel very often. You're going to predict more likely it's going to be Banded or something like that.
Sniper or something.
Yeah. So the SD, I think it was definitely a good set by the player who bought it, and it worked out really well for him. But so yeah, I have some sympathy with being swept by that the way he was because it's just totally not what he was expecting to happen. But then that's draft format, that happens. You can get swept by a good surprise set.
Uh,
So
yeah, another one that we have relatively close is Minnesota Vigavolts. I have number 10, and I believe you both have him at number 9.
yeah,
Yep.
I'll just talk about his draft first. Tapu Bulu, Hydreigon, Darmanitan, Polosand, Braviary, Scyther, Mega Aggron, Milotic, Terrakion, Komola, and Alolan Raichu. Now I don't want to talk too much about talk too much about the match with him because I did face him, so I don't want to
yeah.
sound biased at all. But I
I mean,
guess
to start off with the draft, I really, a very simple but effective core Tapu Bulu and Mega
mhm,
Aggron simply because Tapu Bulu is a mon I actually passed over, and the reason I passed over it was simply because of two things. One, base 75 speed is an issue to me because of two, the number of weaknesses it has, especially that 4 times weakness to poison. So to me, in counter format, when you know it's coming, it's something you can prep for pretty well. That being said, it obviously hits incredibly hard. It gets free recovery basically. There's a lot of good things going for it. So I think it's a mon that you have to draft well around it and you have to use it well, but it's definitely got a big upside. But I think the Mega Aggron with it is really smart because any hit that's going to kill Bulu, Mega Aggron just switches into pretty much. And when you're against the Bulu, it creates a mind game of, am I going to go for the obvious hit or am I going to predict the Aggron? So
Yeah.
it's even just that simple little core there is quite annoying prep wise. And then you've got some really good mons in there. You've got Darmanitan is an excellent mon. Hydreigon is obviously somewhat terrifying. So yeah, it's
he also
even
has
just something like
Milotic.
Milotic, which also switches into a lot of Bulu's problems. So yeah, it's a I think it's a good draft. It's like again, there's a few little oddities, but definitely works pretty well basically. And I have him kind of somewhere higher up from the teams that lost because I don't think he played badly. I think it was just I think it was a pretty good game between him and Doorman, and he came on the losing side. I think Doorman played pretty well and closed out his win con pretty well. But yeah, I still think it's a good draft. I think he'll probably do quite well this season. We'll see how it goes, but I think he'll do fairly well.
The one thing I do want to say, I guess I don't want to talk too much about it, but I did think it was. I believe he said at the beginning that he forgot about Masquerain on my team because it just. I mean, who remembers Masquerain? But it set up Sticky
Yeah,
Rice and he didn't bring any hazard removal, and I had Mega Metacham, so that kind of.
yeah. Considering how that match went, he did well to make it as close as it ended up being because
Mhm.
the webs were a huge issue for him.
Yeah, definitely
Probably
agree.
should have mentioned. Yeah, anything, Aaron?
Honestly, you covered everything. It's like his draft is fantastic, and he made it a really close game, being with the webs and Mega Metagam. So I really feel like he's going to do pretty well this season. It's just this wasn't his game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh, Next, I guess we can talk about. Actually, you have Werder Breloom at number 10, Aaron. So I guess we can talk about
Yes,
him
I do.
now.
I've got what
Sure.
have you got, Jackson?
Hmm. Number 10, mine was
What have you got?
Minnesota.
I believe I've got Melbourne.
Yeah, you have Slow Kings at number 10. We already covered them.
Are you? Oh, never mind. I'm a bit ahead of you. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
not.
just going
That,
back to Aaron's number 10 so we can talk about
yeah.
Order Loom. My
I
boy
prefer not to talk about
Vilchis.
them first simply because I went up against
Yeah.
them.
I'll explain his draft. He's got Tapu Koko, Klefki, Chestnut, Donphan, Marowak Aloha Form, Zatu, Mega Swampert, Pelipper, Kingdra, Muckalolan Form, and Miltank.
Horrifying.
So first off, he drafted Tapu Koko, Klefki, Chestnut, Donphan, Marowak. We didn't know what the fuck he was doing. We thought it was a good draft at first, and then he pulled out Pelipper and Kingdra and Mega Swampert, and we were all
Very afraid.
his team all suddenly became really, really threatening.
Yeah.
Really good draft
That
overall.
Tapu Koko and
Petrifying.
Brilliant team.
Having
Tapu
Tapu,
Koko, right? I
having
mean,
yeah,
that's the right at time of recording. That's in OU a lot right now.
having Tapu
Yeah.
Like,
Koko,
yeah,
having Tapu Koko, and
yeah,
then taking Alolan Marowak. Oh my god, that was scary for
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
Just
bye bye, biggest counter.
yeah. I mean, it's just it's actually when you think about it, there's a again at time of recording, this is subject to change, obviously, but right now there's a very common team with basically not the Mega Swampert, but you've got the core of the Pelipper, the Kingdra, the Tapu Koko, and the Alolan Marowak, which you see quite a lot, honestly. So the fact that he's got that in draft format is obviously, pretty scary. And like the reason I have him, I think I've got him as the highest team that lost in the first week for me.
Yep, at number 7.
And basically the reason is one, I think it was a really close game, um, uh, against Whalefish, which is his actual, his actual Skype name and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a really close game, and he didn't play badly. I didn't think, and definitely that draft is hugely threatening.
It was a very exciting match to
So
watch. It
yeah,
was
I thought to me that was the best match of the week.
it was
That was the
so
one I enjoyed the most. It was really close. It was really good. A lot of really good plays. As always, there's always the one or two players you watch it live and you say, "Oh, I wouldn't have done that," but then everyone's different.
it's hindsight as
Um,
well. We can't. No one's gonna play perfectly every match.
yeah, exactly. And unless you read your opponent unbelievably well, but it's rare that that happens
Yeah,
for a full game. But yeah, I like the draft a lot. I like the player, and I think that he's not going to stay. Like he'll probably, I think he's going to end up like top 5 power rankings for most of the season. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess we'll talk next about my number 9, which is Melbourne. For you guys, I believe it's 8. Melbourne
Yep.
Metagross. Okay.
yeah.
Who wants to talk about his draft?
On your Aaron, you want to go?
Oh, never mind. I guess I'll do it. Oh, he doesn't have it on his page.
Oh dear.
I'll do it. I'm looking at Stats Hub anyway. Right, Aaron, you can do the next one. I promise we'll let you do the next one. So he's got a definitely interesting draft. I think he's got Mew, Diggersby, Jolteon, Cloyster, Aromatisse, Torkoal. Torkoal now gets drought, so Torkoal. Mega Houndoom, which is why he's got Torkoal, presumably. Komomo, Exploud, Levani, and Skarmory. Again, another somewhat odd draft to look at. You can see where some of the ideas come through. Definitely, obviously, the Torkoal Mega Houndoom thing is pretty obvious. Obviously, Mew is a really supremely versatile mon. Diggersby is a threat. I love Diggersby. Exploud is also a threat. You've got some really fantastic Pokemon here. Just Skarmory is really good hazard control. It's one where I feel it's a bit weird fitting together, but at the same time it's going to be really annoying to prep for. So yeah, and he played all right, So that's how he got where he is on my list.
I agree. He played fairly well. I really do like his draft. I think it's versatile. The Torkoal, I'm not sure about.
He wants it for the Mega Houndoom though.
I know. It's
It's
just
a really, it gives you that threat of the solar power Mega Houndoom.
yeah.
and really
Uh,
know what other Sunsetter is going to get is tier 5. Like, I can see why I did it.
yeah, I can see too. Aaron, do you have any comments about the Melbourne and Metagross?
No, since I always talk last, you normally cover what I want to say.
Right, Aaron, you can do who's next. Who's next? We can let Aaron do that one.
Uh, Trenton Thunderous.
Oh dear, BLS.
He's my
Yeah,
number
yeah.
7, and Aaron's number 7. Jack, where is he for you? 6?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, because you put
So,
Light to Bravery. He's at 15.
Yep.
And go ahead, Aaron.
his draft is Raikou, Tapu Fini, Porygon 2, Crocodile, Turtonator, Primeape, Mega Scizor, Beware, Nihilego, Trevenant, and Jinx. Honestly, his team fits a little bit weird to me.
I can see some things, like Turtonator is a huge fire resist for Mega Scizor, things like that.
And Beware. Like, it's just. I see a lot of fire weaknesses. But then he has, like, the 2 resists.
And
3.
Porygon 2 might as well resist everything that's ever happened, so.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I
Yeah.
do actually like the Raikou pick for this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps as a good pivot to Core World Mega Scizor.
And it's more diverse than most fast electric types in
I always
the.
feel like
Yeah.
Raikou can be a little bit. Because the Thunder's there in tier 1, like, I sometimes feel like Raikou gets a little bit overlooked. And
Mhm.
it's a more versatile mon. Like, it doesn't have some of the raw power some other mons have, but bearing in mind, everyone's so used to the Assault Vest set in OU and what it used to do last gen, and everyone's so used to being kind of somewhat weak and something. It's actually got some decent versatility. It gets some good coverage. It can calm mind up, substitute calm mind's a decent set in league. There's a lot of things it can do, and people, I think, they think it's a simpler mon than it is, I guess, or less versatile anyway.
It also gets extra sensory and Aura Sphere, which
Yep.
a lot of people don't seem to realize, and Shadow Ball. So actually decent
Yeah,
coverage.
it's got decent coverage and decent bulk, actually. Natural bulk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be dying to a lot of things.
The Tapu Fini is interesting. I mean, it's become, especially with Iron, it's become the kind of mantra of the group that Tapu Fini isn't very good.
Yeah. It's my only thing against Tapu Fini is like its ability prevents it from doing what it should be doing, which is scald burning, or its only form of recovery is rest, and it can't use rest the first 5 turns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really, really, really bad at being a bulky water type, and that's really all I see it being able to do.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, rather than break down every single pick in his draft.
Yeah, he played
His
okay.
game, so he was the one who played the relatively new Dallas Delmaz, and basically, again, it's just one of these things where I've got him as, I think, again, the lowest winner of week 1 in my draft, in my power ranking, sorry, simply because I feel like it was a choke from the opponent.
Mhm.
I feel like overall the opponent actually managed to get himself into a winning position. And also, I mean, we'll see how the draft goes. There's some good things in there. There's some, in my opinion, less good things in there. But I can definitely see it working, and it's one of these things where it's definitely dependent on how he uses things and how well he can bring out the versatility in certain mons. Like Raikou is one I'm certainly looking at as being a really key member of this draft.
And Primeape. I think a lot of people are gonna overlook Primeape, but honestly, I think it's a really good value pick for tier 5.
Yeah. I've definitely seen it
Okay.
actually do really well in league format. It hits surprisingly hard.
Yeah, especially because it gets decent enough coverage for tier 5.
Ice Punch, especially being able to U-turn out.
Hmm.
So for
So I think
my
with that we can move on to the next.
yeah for that at number 6 I got Connecticut Cobalions, and you guys have him at 5 for
4.
Jack and 4 for Aaron.
The Hail team.
He won with Hail.
The Hail team that somehow beat Sun week 1.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
surprising. Let's talk about his draft. He has Victini, Magnezone, Slowking, Dodrio, Beartick, Alolan Sandslash, Mega Abomasnow, Garchomp, Azelf, Alolan Ninetales, Frostlass, and stealing my draft from last season of Garchomp, Azelf, Victini. Just saying.
But he does
Honestly,
have
it's
King, so
really
it's okay.
scary when to stop thinking about the fact that it's hail and everybody thinks hail is horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is he? This is the thing about this team. He doesn't actually, because he's got a really low tier mega and a lot of really good mons. Essentially, I can see him
Doesn't
almost
always
like
have to
never
bring
bringing
hail.
mega bonus now
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
he's got so many other things he can bring. Like things like Magnezone is a kind of Magnezone's always the kind of mon to me in League where you don't want to over prep for it, but at the same time, if it comes and you haven't prepped for it, it will be a huge problem for you. There's
Yeah.
just there's no getting around it. And he's got a lot of mons like that. Azel's kind of like that.
And it can handle
You
the
ha-
steel types that his hail mons don't enjoy.
yeah, and especially even just look at the Hail mons. Like he can bring none of them. He can
Yeah.
Yeah.
bring none of them and still bring a really good team.
A
So
fantastic team.
it's really difficult. And obviously Victini. I mean, you see the Victini at the top line of any draft, and you start going, oh god,
Yeah.
Yep.
Victini's always good. You can't. It's almost impossible to make Victini bad
I
in
love
draft.
Yeah,
Victini.
it's
I love it so much.
very difficult.
The only reason I have him at
Yeah.
number 6 is because Victini has a negative differential, and no, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, Victini died without getting a kill in week one, which is just
Mine,
depressing.
when I used it, had only 3 deaths and 11 kills. Actually, it was more than 11. It was like 13. But anyway, I can't put my own personal bias too much against him.
I mean, but then
Victini.
again, as a Victini, like you should be getting that kind of talent, to be honest.
Yeah, Bandit
And
V
he
crate.
also used his other. He did use his other Pokemon pretty well though,
Yeah, the
especially
Slowking
Slowking.
especially. Yeah, he used Slowking really well. He abused that regenerator,
Oh yeah.
really,
We already
which
talked
has
about.
ended
Okay.
up how he closed that match. But yeah,
We were talking about
but it'll be
the.
interesting to see because this is the guy. I'll quickly mention that this is the guy who won the first season,
Yep.
Yep,
and
our
he
champion.
drafted this. Yeah, current champion. He amongst other things, tossed me on my neck in the semi-final. I had a shocking matchup against him, and it showed. Well, it wasn't good for me.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I lost, what was it, like 3 matches all season, and that was one of them. And there was another one to him because he was my
Mhm.
division. So yeah, basically, yeah, I hated that matchup. But point being, really good player, experienced league player, weird team, but still with a lot of really good mons in it, still a lot of threats. So I'll be interested to see how well he actually does with it. He's downplaying it in the chats a lot, but I don't know. I think there's something there.
Yeah, I definitely think he can go far with it.
I agree. With that, though, let's talk about Aaron's number 6, Atlanta Braviaries, and it's Jack's number 15, and my number 5.
Well, essentially, he pleased me this week. So you're going to be number 15 in my power rank. This is just how it's going to work. Everyone, please understand that when you play me, you will be number 15 in my power rankings because you're obviously terrible.
It went from 6 to 15 to 5.
I mean, I'm just a hyper rational human being. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Okay, so his draft is Dragonite, Staraptor, Arcanine, Doughblade, Electros, Steelix, Mega Gardevoir, Tentacruel, Goodra, Conkeldurr, and Cradily.
Can I just say he
Slow.
loses when he goes up against Swim Typhlosions because Mammoth won?
That too, also. But no, the one thing actually I'm going to genuinely point out is that I think one of the big issues for his team. I mean, what's a good Scarfer in there? Pretty much Staraptor, and that's it.
Yeah.
And his team is slow, really
Yeah.
slow. Base 100 is his top speed tiering. So now he's got a lot of natural bulk in there. He's got a lot of hard hitters. Like, don't get me wrong, it can work. It wouldn't suit me, wouldn't suit my playstyle. But I can see people make. I mean, he's obviously drafted it thinking he can make it work. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, I put him 15 is not my genuine reflection on how well he's played or how good his draft is, but to me, yeah, I think he's got real issues with speed tiering, and I think when he plays fast offensive teams, he's going to struggle.
She's gonna
But
struggle.
that's just me.
But he
That's just
did
me.
beat Fortress Feeders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then Fortress Feeders aren't that fast.
I did want to mention, like, because we also need to talk about his win. We can't just bash his draft.
Yeah, he did get
I'm
a
not,
win.
I'm not bashing his draft. I'm saying it's not a draft I would have made. But there's a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of excellent ones in there.
Mhm.
Mega Gardevoir, superb. Goodra, superb. Conkeldurr is excellent. Arcanine is fantastic. Staraptor is even really good. Like there's a lot of really good ones in there.
I'm not sure about the
Um,
Dragonite Gudra though. Having both of them on one team.
I mean, yeah, but then yeah, I mean, he's got some decent ice beam switch-ins, but it's not the best. I agree. I mean, I think there's a certain team I can think of with two ice types that might have a bit of fun against that draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it a bit higher in the rankings? Cock off.
But remember, there are still drops, and there's still a lot of fast lanes in Tier 1.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he
I
could
mean,
end
he
up
might
being
end
gold.
up dropping the Dragonite. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I guess we'll move on to Aaron's number 5. And I can't really talk too much without being biased, but it is the Washington Victini's Doorman himself, supreme jackass of the league.
Hey,
Hey,
don't
hey.
take up my title.
Yeah, but no, this is a contested. We're every power rankings week is going. Wait a minute. Okay, do either of you have your opponent inexplicably at the bottom of the power rankings despite having won? I don't think so. I am the true jackass, and I will forever. Is even my name? God damn it.
No, you're
So yeah,
supreme overlord of the league.
I am Supreme Overlord. That's true. Maybe I can't have both.
You can't
I'm
have
being greedy.
both.
But yeah,
Aaron's
so this is
supreme emo of the league. Hashtag cut for Aaron.
don't cut for anybody actually.
Don't do it.
Um,
It's not worth it.
but yeah, essentially.
How about instead you cut that motherfucking like button?
Oh, that's gonna be like in most YouTube videos you have like the little like snippet from a video, then the intro music or something.
Hmm.
That's gotta be the snippet. That's gotta be... Anyway, right. So, God Almighty, God. Right. Basically, well, talking about Jackson's draft, he actually dropped two things. I mean,
Already.
yeah, you've already dropped two
Yeah.
things. What were they again? They were
Flygon
what
and
is that?
Silvally. They were worthy drops.
Flygon and Savali were dropped for Latios
And
and
Mudsdale.
Mudsdale. Right. Okay. So the draft as is now the funny thing is that Jackson was we originally thought that Savali with all forms was going to be too hard to prep for on draft, and we're going to allow Savali as you can draft it, but you draft one form of it, and your opponent knows you've drafted Savali Ghost or Savali Electric or whatever you picked.
But it's
Um,
bad either way.
It's bad either way.
yeah, I mean, well, I
So
would
Valley all
really
types for tier 5.
it, no, it's
No.
essentially I think. I think the issue is that Jackson kind of decided he wanted to try it pretty much the day of the, and he didn't really think about how he wanted to use it. Or I still think it has a place. I think
Oh, I do too. But
certain type of player to use it. But I think if you get essentially to me it's a count. And this is we're talking way too much about Savali. It's not even on the draft anymore. But I'll just quickly share that essentially to me it's a mon where you bring it to counter like one or two specific mons on your opponent's
Yeah.
team. And the issue is that your opponent doesn't know what you're going to bring it to counter.
I do want to
And
explain.
that's where I think
Yeah.
it can be.
I do want to explain
So, yeah.
it real quick why I dropped it. It wasn't just because I think it's not that good. The issue is when I found myself prepping for week 1 and 2, I just found my other mons did its job better, and that I had to build around Silvally to use it. And it just takes more effort and more mons to do it. And I'd rather have 3 good mons that can do a lot other than just counter one mon than have one mon that just counters one other person's mon than have 2 other useless ones or not as good ones just to help it out. But I also needed more speed. I was lacking speed, and I wanted to
Yeah.
better switch into electric types. So that's why I picked up Mudsdale and picked up Latios. Ladio, because they both resist electric, and of course Mudsdale's immune to it. And Latios as well, I think, is very underrated in League format. It was somehow still there, which is
I mean, you say
shocking.
underrated. It used to be one of the highest rated ones league format, but then it was kind of successive seasons of it not doing particularly much.
It's because everyone just runs defog,
Yeah, honestly.
which is uh, not really. Anyways, I don't think we talked about the rest of my draft yet.
So yeah, Jackson's full draft to go through it is currently set at Latios, Incineroar, which is by the way allowed Intimidate. I don't know, is that out in the ladder yet? I haven't.
Yes,
No.
it's allowed.
Well, yeah, it's allowed Intimidate. Blastoise, Roserade, Aggron, Raichu, regular, Mega Medicham, Sylveon, Cofagrigus, and Masquerain.
LOL Trick Room. I mean, Webs, not Trick Room, but Webs.
Good commentary.
I
Basically,
try.
I look at this team and I just see, to me, there's a lot of very doorman things in here. Blastoise, me and him had in a doubles league.
Spinny McSpin spin for the win.
Dynamic spin, yeah. Sylveon's a mon I think you'll enjoy a lot. Cafagrigus you had last season.
Loved it
You
so
know, even
much.
yeah, even and it just the mon is just staring me in the face as Mega Medicham, which is just
Hmm.
power. It's power and it's scary. It's so hard to switch into unless you have a bulky psychic type.
And with
Even then, you
webs.
can, yeah, and with webs, and you've got double edge if you really want to run that against a psychic type. And and it's just there's a lot of things you can do with this team. Um, I mean, I see some weaknesses in it, but I don't want to say what they are because I play you week 7, so I'm not giving away my thoughts on how to beat you. But yeah,
Oh, okay. I see how
but
it is.
essentially, it's a scary draft. There's some real natural power in there. There's also decent enough natural bulk. Um, but yeah, I think it's good, and I think you played out your win pretty well. I do have a few other people in front of you in my rankings. You're number 4 for me, but yeah, I think you played pretty well. I think as a draft you'll use well, and I think it should be a fun game week 7 for us.
It's
Put it
like
that
my
way.
last draft, except better Mega. I hated Mega Gyarados so much.
No Victini though.
No Victini cries. Ugh. It's because I'm
Yeah,
going to try Incineroar, but I'll probably end up drafting
yeah.
Victini next season.
Aaron, what do you think about
I,
Jackson?
I just want to throw out there that Kafagrigas does learn Trick Room,
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't being a complete idiot. Just throwing that out
Yeah,
there.
Sylveon,
um,
yeah.
Kofag, Incineroar, Aggron with the Trick
Aggron.
Room.
a lot of slow Pokemon that can work very well under Trick Room,
Who is
and with
Anonymous
Oh,
Buffalo on our dock?
probably me.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
relevance.
But he's got a great team. I think I love the amount of synergy that he has. He has a lot of Volt Turn, which I as well like Volt Turn. He has good old Alolan Raichu, not Alolan Raichu. Incineroar has U Turn. He has Healing Wish and Latios. Memento and Latios. My bad, wrong Lati. He has a lot of things that can work out really well for him. Mega Medicham is horrifying. I mean, horrifying. And that and Incineroar work pretty well together. So not really any bad things I can say, and he did really well this week, so can't put him too low.
I can say some bad things. Like one of the things is because it's week 1, I think we're kind of being quite nice to people. Expect me to trash talk a lot more. I'll say one thing: Raichu's bloody terrible.
No, I don't believe you.
Raichu's awful.
No.
Raichu's just so bad. Like
Nope.
I mean,
Nope.
they're just better electric types in Tier 5. They just are.
I asked you which one, Electabuzz or Raichu, and you said Raichu.
I want to take an Electrobuzz. I'd take Lux. But anyway, whatever. But yeah, versus I think Raichu, if it comes, you know exactly what it's going to be. But then I don't know. It's just not
Wow.
fun.
Okay.
Hey,
You
hey,
know,
hey.
I'm gonna.
Ryan's Bull Raichu last season? Just saying.
Yeah, that was so good.
I mean,
D-
no comments.
okay, Aaron, we had to beat him with the Raichu
Good luck.
in prep,
Good luck.
Good.
or at least have it do something. That'd be so good if it ends up winning me the game. If
Tangrowth
it
says
does,
hello.
if it does, then I'll quote Jack infinitely.
Tangrowth says hello.
Volt switch into Medicham.
Once again, Tangrowth says hello. I can't back you
No,
up on that one.
Tangrowth doesn't. I don't believe Tangrowth takes many hits from it, or just,
It only needs to take one.
or Volt switch into Incineroar. Either one.
You forgot my scarf. Anyway, right. Let's move
Trash
on.
talk. You can already. It's happening already. The trash
Yeah.
talk.
Well, I'm being nice to the people who don't know that well. You suck.
Didn't you get your
Right.
neck dropped
Anyway,
by?
on to the next one from me. No Jackson, no rebuttal. Next one, which is our very own Bibbidi Bops, aka PDA Wellswish, aka Charizard Hatman, aka Cut Your Hair, aka the Mississippi Mimikyus.
The original emo.
That was a lot of
Seriously.
AKAs.
I have him at number 4 for me. He's on 3 for Jack, and if Aaron could, he put himself at 1, I believe.
Aaron's draft.
No.
Aaron's draft is one of the few that actually somewhat makes a bit of sense.
My,
But you
mine
know,
was pretty
it's
fire.
less raw power than most people. A lot less raw power than most people.
I like
But there's a
Aaron's
lot more
draft.
synergy, I'd say.
Drac is
Oh,
just
Yeah,
a
I
shit.
know.
hater.
Yeah. I mean, do one of you want to quickly go through his
Yeah, I
draft?
got this. I got this. Landorus T, Rotom Wash, Gardevoir, Hitmonlee, Excelgor, Armaldo, Celebi, Gengar, Greninja, and the most powerful, in my personal opinion, the MVP, Clean Clane, motherfuckers. Clean Clane.
Ah,
Clang Clang is so bad.
The Clean
clang,
Clane
clang, clang.
Clan.
I needed a steel type, and
Clang Clang.
I needed an ice resistant. I mean,
Do you think it'd be
clang,
in bad
clang.
taste if you named it the Klux Clan or some shit? Would that be in bad taste
No,
if you nicknamed it that?
no,
The KK.
let's not. Uh,
Anyway, nice standard OU, Landris T, Rotomosh. Aaron, I'll let you talk about your draft mostly.
um, basically, I love Volturn a lot, and I had Rotom Wash last season, and somehow the Pokemon that I wanted as my bulky water type ended up leading my team with kills. So I brought Specs a few times, Scarf, um, and I wanted a Pokemon that I could pair that well with, and Landorus Therian was there. And I got Lando T, nice and Rotom Wash. Gardevoir is my fairy type. I've got Hazard Removal and Hitmonlee, and of course the best Pokemon in Auto.
Meh is generous as hell. Your hazard removal is shocking, and you know it.
I know.
Or Zardex.
Yeah, Zardex is basically the point of my team is Volturn into Zardex, which is basically my main way of having raw power. That and yeah, that's about it. I wanted a little bit of hazard stacking since momentum is one of the biggest things that my team is built around.
The only thing.
Yeah, honestly. But
I mean,
that's honestly.
I have many problems with like I wouldn't want to use this draft, but I know you'll like it. So,
Yeah.
but imagine drafting Zardex without Starmie. Jesus Christ. Just
Isn't
I'm
Starmie
just gonna
still
leave that
there?
out there. Like I say, I'll.
Aaron, Starmie's still there.
But I have
Maybe
Rotom
Rotom
Wash. Shut
Wash.
up.
Starmie is still there. I would still pick it up.
No.
Drop Lando. Just
No!
virtually mono water draft and
No!
Zardex.
Oh, I agree with that one. Mono water. Here we go, boys.
Leave me alone.
Dive
Yeah.
into the deep end.
If you drop
We're
Clang
gonna
Clang
talk
for
about
water
Battle
until you have
League,
more
I can't talk
hazard removal.
about that.
Okay.
I mean,
I do like Aaron's team quite a bit. It's unfortunate that Hitmonlee is his spinner when he has actually a decent amount of hazard stack potential. It's just a little unfortunate. But other than that, I actually like the team a lot. Very momentum based. I love momentum teams myself. Uh, Pivots in general are just so good. Bulky, slow pivots combined with the fast pivot of Greninja, I love that so much. And Excelgor, like, I don't know why. I just really found that to be a powerful combo.
Yeah.
Uh,
there's a lot of good things in that draft. Don't get me wrong.
he also played very well in his match against Viltris. It was such a close match. It was definitely
Yeah,
a
like
match of week,
Viltris,
100%.
like Village didn't play bad at all. Like at all. You know, that's Village's performance would probably beat a lot of people, honestly. And you know, his prep was decent as well. Like there's, you know, it was a close match with Aaron one out, which is why he's essentially so high in my rankings. Because I think he played really, really well, and he's already shown to me that, you know, despite on paper not having the most power in the world, like he's going to make this draft work because it suits his playstyle down to the ground.
Oh, shucks.
Well, you're going to have to try and say nice things about me soon, so that's good. Right.
I have?
Well, probably. I still haven't been. But yeah. Okay, well, I feel like I should talk about the next draft, seeing as I kind of helped create it somewhat.
Yeah,
Uh, okay, so basically, this is Ryan number two, or number one actually. Theoretically, he won, so I think he gets Ryan number one title. If we're being totally honest.
oh,
Um,
don't strip away the one thing Ryan has.
oh, for Ryan.
He lost the user
He's still an
friendlies, and now
admin,
he
so
lost his number one.
he has to win it back. He has to finish with a higher overall record. There's your challenge, Ryan. Anyway, other Ryan. This one's gonna be British Ryan. I've already decided. I'm not even sure if you're. I think you're British. If you're not, then you're still gonna be British. Um, so British Ryan. Basically, there was a guy in the league who had to drop out. Very early on, he had a full draft and then just had to drop out. Um, and we managed to get this. We managed to get British Ryan in, and essentially, it meant he didn't really like the draft he had. So we allowed some exceptions to our kind of three drops rule and all this kind of stuff, and basically allowed him to, drop everything, just draft again from what was there. And just because I had the doc and I knew exactly what was there and what wasn't, all this kind of stuff. I helped him out, especially with the initial core. Just I'm not trying to say I made this draft. They're just together. We pieced together what would go well with this and tried to piece together a good draft for him. And to be honest, if I would take a draft that isn't mine in the league, this would be the one I'd take.
Same.
I
It's
think this
so
draft
good.
is really, really good. And hooray for me.
Also, because
Uh,
I love Heatran. Heatran is so good in draft format. People don't even realize it. It's so
I mean,
undervalued.
you say that it always goes really early, and it always doesn't. I mean, I say it always doesn't do that much.
No.
There's a lot of leagues I've seen Heatran somewhat underperform in my opinion, especially because people don't ever bring it offensive.
That's
The
why I'm
number of
saying
people
that
I've
it's
seen draft it,
underutilized.
then yeah, there's a lot of mons like that though.
If
I
I
mean,
drafted it, I mean, I had it in PSF and used it pretty well, but that didn't last. That league didn't last very long, unfortunately.
yeah.
Which
But
I'm
anyway,
sad
so
about
to
because
get
I love
onto it,
Heatran. Yeah.
so we've got Heatran, Florges, Delmise, Heracross, Weezing, Swellow, Mega Gyarados,
Oh,
Latias, Thunderous T, Rhydon, and Gorbis.
I get
I
PTSD
love this
anytime
draft.
somebody mentions Mega Gyarados.
He likes it. He likes it a lot.
And I think I also didn't
Essentially,
draft well around it, but
no, to be fair. But yeah, this team, like, I just love there's a lot of offensive and defensive synergy. There's a lot of just mons that are scary by themselves,
Specs
and they can pivot
Florges.
around each other really well. He's got decent enough hazard removal. He's got some great raw power. I mean, the first two mons we actually started with, we went Mega Gyarados, and then I said, well, Thundo T is there, and like they go pretty nicely together. Then you got Heatran, then you got the Latias, and it's because of how weird the drafts were overall. Like everyone at the end of the draft noted that there was a lot of excellent ones left, and things like Florges somehow didn't go, Thundo T didn't go, Latias didn't go, you know, Heracross, which I think is a really great tier three, didn't go. So essentially, you've got him taking a lot of the ones that were left and building a really, really strong draft around them.
Mhm.
And I, to me, if I was just going to pick a raw, well, there are two drafts I think are genuinely superb, and this is one of them. And he also played really well in his victory over the other Ryan. We have mentioned the other Ryan did overpredict somewhat, but he played really solidly.
Yeah, he was
And
actually also on
yeah,
top of the prediction game.
yeah,
As soon as he saw Ryan was over predicting, he started really playing around that.
yeah. Yeah, he picked up what Ryan was doing really well and played against it really well. And yeah, I think that he's definitely, to me, I think he's like calling it already. I think he's going to go pretty far.
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm. I'm very excited to
He
talk about.
adapted styles very,
Yeah.
very, very well and very quickly.
Hmm.
Is this his first league?
No,
Okay,
No.
I was making sure.
not even close. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so next we're gonna talk about. Uh, we're gonna talk about Jack himself, the Brexit Beartix.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't hate you at all. We get to opt back in. It's fine ish. Ish.
What's the opt-in form called?
It's politics, Jackson. It's not important. Move on.
Sprinter.
Yeah,
No, it's
the
not Brenter. Go to hell. Right. Not never calling it that.
Is that
Um,
actually what they're calling it?
no, it's what Aaron calls
No.
it because Aaron's an idiot.
Why do you call it
Right.
that? Okay, whatever. The
It's
Brexit
not
bear
important.
jokes.
Move on to my weird draft.
Yes.
His team is horrible. He's a bad player.
Didn't
Okay.
even draft anything new.
But
Shaking
actually,
my
it's
head.
not because it's freaking Megalopony and Manaphy and Entei and
Okay,
Randy
you want to do it properly? Manaphy, Entei, Tangrowth, Zoroark, Bronzong, Avalugg, Megalopunny, Landorus Eye, Togekiss, Skuntank, Rotom. Regular.
What
Some
a
of the
weird
best wall
draft.
breakers ever,
I hate you, Jack, for not
and
taking Frost.
Zoroark,
Yeah, the Zoroark. The MVP of the draft is Zoroark. It's just
and
a-
he
You can't
also
see
has one of
this.
the best offense beaters,
Yeah.
Megalopony,
Hello.
and Bronzong, which walls everything,
Mhm.
and Tangrowth, which also walls everything.
Who is like inflating a balloon? Holy shit! No, it sounds like
Aaron's
somebody's
not
like,
moving. That's you. Mannequin challenge.
dude, are you sitting on like a plastic sheet? Jesus, Aaron, it's so
With
loud.
Aaron, with
That's
Aaron's
about
hobbies, we
what
don't
that
want
is,
nobody's standing
honestly.
up. Move on. Not relevant.
Moving on.
But yeah, so my weird ass draft. It's one of these things where talking about it for myself, like talking just explaining my draft. Essentially, I drafted this when I was pretty sleep deprived, to be totally honest, and I got Manaphy round one because my original pick of Tapu Lele went, and Manaphy is something I've always wanted to try and draft for him, just because I always see it doing excellently and it looks like a great threat, and it is. Um, and then I was offended by the fact that Lando I came back to me.
Dude,
I was
I
picked
was on the
five
call
overall,
then.
and
You were
Lando I
so
came
mad.
back to me in the second round, which is just why.
You were just so
So I
Basically,
basically
when
picked
some
it.
people were thinking about synergy in their draft, Jack was like, "Ooh, shiny."
Pretty much, I was just like, this mon is excellent. I'm going to take this, and then Entei was still there, and Entei is something that there's a running joke that I always draft Entei, and I don't care. I'm going to draft Entei again because it's just sitting there, and I have a Manaphy. And I was trying not to draft Entei, but Manaphy and Entei go really well together, in my opinion. And yeah, just I'm taking Entei, and then Megalopunny's there in round 4. I have 3 first-round picks on my team. 3. It's ridiculous, and yeah, essentially, I've just got a lot of really high-value picks that don't necessarily fit together at all. But
Ooh, shiny.
yeah, but ooh shiny, but I'll make it work because I always draft weird teams. Although this is even for me, this is weird. But I'll make it work because
I'm
I've got a lot of willpower and I'll find ways to get monsters to do jobs.
I'm a little disappointed that none of us, nobody in the draft drafted good old seasons beatings, Mega Sceptile.
I know, but yeah,
The Mexicans were trying to take Jack's job, so he gave it to Landorus Eye, basically.
I don't even think that analogy works. But
The thing I
It
want to mention,
definitely doesn't, but I mean,
another great thing with his team is with Landorus, Megalopunny does have a Baton Pass, by the way. Manaphy technically gets U-turn. Zoroark with U-turn and Rotom's Volt Switch. Jack can opt out if he needs to and get back into another Mon.
whatever threat I choose.
Yeah, you can opt out just like he did with Brexit.
Just don't defamate my character like that. Also, I'm trying not to mention cheapy here, but anyway, basically, yeah, it's a weird draft, but I'll do alright. And we're spending way too much time talking about our own
Yeah.
drafts because
Jack
yeah.
Jack played well. Thumbs up.
I played well. I smashed the stall player, but then you listen to that draft. If I didn't smash the stall player, I should probably retire.
I would have. Yeah, I would
you'd
have
be
made
number
Jack retire.
17.
Yeah, you would have been
Yeah, pretty much.
number
Right.
16 would be Demon on the Court, Osama, of course.
Shut up.
He's always the
Next.
invisible number 16. Next
I
is
mean-
Hong Kong Bronzons. We all agreed on this one.
Yeah, number
there's
one,
no,
Hong Kong
there's no
Bronzong.
disagreeing on this one, actually.
Oh god, this draft.
Let me break it
Yes.
down. Let me break it down.
So essentially,
Celesteela.
I just want to pretty much explain. No, I just want to do this, right? I want to say that he had the wheel pick. He picked number 16, right? So all these amazing ones have fallen down to him, but wheel pick also you can pick what is essentially going to be your kind of two
Core.
really core mons. He picked Kerambee and Celesteela. He's my division.
Scared yet?
He's my
Anyway,
division.
let me talk about his draft. Celesteela, Salaze. Ooh, or Slazzle. However.
Lazzle.
Salaze. I made it sound like really stupid. But whatever. Nidoking. Mantine, Sneasel, lol 5 kills. Gramble, Mega Manetric. Ooh!
Big scary Super Roman Kieran B.
Hit him up with a
Oh
right
god.
hand, and another right hand, and another right hand,
And
and a
then
left
another
hand.
Pokemon called Decidueye.
No,
AKA Versatility Incarnate.
yeah. Gallade, Sandslash, and another right hand, and another right hand. Oh, and a jumping right hand.
Right, stop. Essentially, um, this is the guy with the swords down Sneasel. This is not only an excellent draft with a lot of really versatile mons, in my opinion. It's also like a draft which I can see Harry playing well with, and it's Harry. He's going to come out with things from absolutely nowhere which you would never have thought of beforehand, but will somehow,
Harry's so
Okay,
good.
Sword Dance Steel's not like that completely weird, but he had was it Flame Charge Special Celesteela? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I
Like
love Harry.
he's gonna bring things that you're just not gonna expect. And there's a mod like I was thinking a lot about Celesteela before the draft because I think it's played quite often as a kind of bulky tank in OU,
Hmm.
but essentially that thing is super versatile to me. It has so many things it can do, and then you start paying at things like Mega Manetric is an amazing pivot and really horrible to try and deal with in draft form, in my opinion, just because its coverage is always great. Kieran B is just terrifying. It's
And you
so
might think
powerful.
that would get a kill, but no Sneasel.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You start thinking about these mons, and then Salazzle's got really nice power and the ability to set up, and Nidoking, oh god, Nidoking,
A king.
and then Sneasel sweeps you. It's a team. It's hard to tell what he's going to bring because he can bring
All
all
of
sorts
them
of
are
different things
good.
to do. Yeah, and he can bring different things to do entirely different jobs. There's the thing. Like you can build two different teams with virtually entirely different composition that will both still be good against the draft he's facing. So he's a lot. What I'm trying to say is a lot of building options, a lot of versatility, and that makes it really hard to prep from.
He's
And then
also
you
my
just
week
add in
two
the fact.
opponent.
Yeah, he's also Aaron's week 2 opponent, and Aaron's not enjoying the prep.
Save me.
Uh, yeah, and basically, yeah, he played really well week 1. I can't see him not making playoffs just based off the draft and the fact that he's no idiot. And yeah, just boo
And he's
because
in
he's in
my
my
division.
division.
And our division.
Yeah, our division, our 4 wins in 4 possible games division. Hooray! Why am I always in the hard division? Invariably, yeah.
We need to start like a GoFundMe.
We need to start a Christmas charity appeal from me in my bloody divisions. I'm always in.
Oh,
You
poor
two can help
Jack.
this poor child be in a somewhat manageable division.
One like on this
Yeah.
video equals $1 I'll give to Jack. So Jack, I'm sorry, you're getting like $2. One's from I
I don't
and
think
one's from me,
who's
just
gonna
so I
like it
can.
apart from you. Oh,
Oh no, actually,
okay.
wait. I'm probably gonna dislike the video.
I mean, you should, to be honest.
You're basically gonna get robbed, Jack, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
Sweet, I'm getting negative $1. Excellent.
yeah, I get.
That's exactly what I wanted to happen.
Yeah,
Just what a
I'm
kick in the
sorry. The charity's not going very well. Aaron's right that we do need a GoFundMe.
Yeah. Essentially, that is the draft we have. Um, we will have Meet the Coaches videos coming up on the YouTube channel pretty soon
So,
via Jackson and original Ryan.
Richard,